Gentlemen, earlier this week, some crazy things came out about one of the coaches, John Gruden from the Raiders, I believe, right? He made some statements that came back up from 2011. He was talking about one of his players' lips looked like Michelin tires, which was crazy. Like, of all things, why would you say that? So it sparked an idea in my head. If you say stuff like that in an email, that just don't come out. That's not general conversation. That'll just come out the blue. Like you don't just write an email. So that means like you've been talking about like other people on a consistent basis to feel comfortable enough to even write that in email. Which brings my case to some of these coaches and owners and stuff. Like yeah, they deal with people of color. And I'm gonna just say people of color because it doesn't matter if you're black, Hispanic, etc. A certain way, and they coach them, but they have an underlying like I guess baseline or idea of how they are or like a misunderstanding. So I just wanted to get y'all take like because there's been plenty of cases throughout the years of owners saying racist stuff and I mean coaches doing different things, treating players different ways and stuff like that. So I just want to get into like, well, what are your thoughts on it? Like, because I know, for example, I'm a Knicks fan and I don't like our GM, and it's a lot of underlining that. So where y'all stand with how GMs, whether it be
Yo,
basketball, NFL, how they run stuff?
let me say something, man. Your man Gruden, it's bad for him because they was like considering him the John Madden of
Okay.
NFL. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm,
he had a big name just within that sports announcement and being a speaker of the NFL. So
yeah.
anything that comes from him is going to look bad regardless. Now, what you spoke about in the email was like one of the things that was heard. The
Hmm.
rest of the emails that got put out
Yeah.
showed way more racism
Hmm.
and things of a sort where it's like, whoa, bro, we didn't know it was this bad.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the reason why your man resigned, like he come out and he goes, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna resign." No, you didn't resign. The NFL was not going to pay you, so they made you resign. They couldn't fire you because they would fire you, then you'd have been getting checks from the NFL.
Mm,
So they forced you to resign, and you resigned because they threatened you because all them emails was about to start coming out crazy. So
yeah.
you lose everything. You had
Let's
to, I'm gonna stop this shit right now. I'm
save
resigning.
face.
Leave me alone. You know what I'm saying? But like, no matter if you don't big or small, when you start talking about racism and things like that, and it's somebody else's culture or ethnicity and all that crazy stuff, bro, it's bad on every level. And when you're
Yeah.
somebody like him, that when you say something, the whole NFL hears because you're considered like the golden boy, the John Madden of the NFL, bro, because of the facial expressions you make on the side of the field, and people really look at you, bro. It's bad, bro. He's all the way bad. Like it affects everything.
Yeah. So with that being said, like I know Stephen A. Smith kind of stood up for him because he only used the example of his personal interaction. And that's something we as black people have a problem with, like because he didn't interact wrong with me, it's like, well, it didn't bother me, but that's not the goal. Like, yes, you're Stephen A. Smith, you're this popular sports announcer, you might have this hierarchy that he might respect. Even though you're black, he respects your position in a sense, but the common black person down the street, just because he's black, he doesn't really like him. So there's a difference. So when you stand up for some injustice like this, I have a disliking to that because he really was like, well,
So Stephen A. was riding with John Gruden.
he
Yeah.
kind of the way he worded it, he was like he pointed out everything he did wrong and what he said, but then he was like, me personally, I don't have any problems with him because my interaction with him, he's a very nice guy. He's very knowledgeable about football, and he goes on to just kind of big him up. But mainly because you have to realize you're in a position of power in a sense. So he respects
Right.
that over your color. But the average black person or Hispanic, whatever, doesn't get that same courtesy you get, Stephen A. Smith, because they're not in your position. See, your position can technically get him fired. So of course he's going to be nice to you because you're in a position of power. So of course, when you say that, and you affect how other people think about about what he said. Well, maybe it was just a mistaken email. Like, no, I don't know everything else that was said, but just the email alone from 2011 that said about the Michelin tires, because that's not something that you say out of the blue. That's like a led conversation. Like you've
Right.
said plenty of other things prior to that. By the time you
Right.
got to that, so it's
Nah, yeah,
crazy.
there was multiple things that was said too. I mean, there was something that he said about he sent something like an email to one of the GMs like, yo, I
Yeah,
hope they not forcing you to draft that queer or something
yeah,
like that.
yeah. The
You know what I'm
queer,
saying?
that was the big thing.
Ooh,
And
okay.
funny,
Crazy.
we just got finished speaking about that yesterday. We're trying to find out that word, and that
Right.
it just pops up.
Right.
So that was
And,
crazy.
Yo,
and that's a
listen,
derogatory word for the LBG community.
listen, I ain't gonna lie, listen, when I found out about this, I was bothered by this, right? Because there was two reasons why I was bothered. Of course, you know what I'm saying, the offensiveness of it, you know what I'm saying, without question, you know what I'm saying? But two, you know what I'm saying, like I was rocking with John.
Mm-hmm.
He's an excellent football analyst.
Before this came out, you know, I like John Gruden. You know what I'm saying, like he actually I see him do a lot of things and a lot of work. You know what I'm saying, like
Quarterbacks and
behind the
stuff like
scenes,
that.
and even the QB1 show that he used to have back in the days where he used to help out the quarterbacks coming into the league. And he used to look like a cool guy, man. He used to talk, you know what I mean, I used to see him conversating with the guys and all that, and he looked, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, I rock with this guy. You know what I mean? He looked mad cool. He wasn't uptight. He wasn't, you know what I'm saying? He looked like he was just one of the guys. You know what I'm saying? And then to come out, you know, when this comes out and all that, and I'm saying, and to really see, like, I mean, it's crazy, you know what I mean? Because, you know, the fact that this type of shit is still so prevalent, you know what I mean, in our time,
Yeah.
you know, that shit is whack, you know what I'm saying? Especially in saying, like, you know, professional football, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Which is
where, you
already a
know,
league that's kind of against. But that's another
right,
conversation.
but you already know, you know what I mean? These guys, like, I can't even imagine, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yo,
how his team feel, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you know, them guys that, you feel me, they was riding with him and all that, and they was listening to every word he said in them practices and in them conference rooms and all that, and they going out there giving 150% for him, you know what I'm saying? They out there busting their ass, putting all that hard work, and now this come out, you know what I'm saying? That's crazy, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm with you. Well, I think it's
to say the
unfortunate.
least.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's your back, man.
I want to say this on it, fellas. I wouldn't want it. I'm gonna wind back to Stephen A. So,
Okay.
Steve, a lot of times we're in this world now to where everybody kind of like to mind their business. You know what I'm saying? Turn the other way.
Yeah, it
You
don't
know what I'm
affect
saying?
me.
I'm sure,
I don't
right?
care.
If it don't affect, because you lose sponsorships, blah blah blah, da 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 da. Okay, so I don't agree with, you know, knowing somebody is, oh, but it didn't affect me. That's cap. You know what I'm saying? People lose their lives over that every day. You know what I'm saying? Crooked cops, all types of stuff. So all right, so look, I will say this. You know what I'm saying? As far as Keyshawn Johnson came out and said he was a fraud. He said he
while
was like
back,
a
right?
he said he was like he played for him, wanted to chip with him, all that stuff. He said he was a used car salesman and people bought it. So that means he knew, he seen the fraudulent back
He said
then.
that about John Gruden.
John Gruden, yeah. So he's seen the fraudulent about the man. You know what I'm saying? What I think John Gruden, now that I said that, I'm gonna go to the John Gruden side of things. You know, sometimes you say things too. Now you shouldn't go that far. Queer and stuff like that's out of, listen, LBG, oh, that's crazy. Don't come for the cut the cap. We good. All right, listen, that's crazy. But sometimes you do talk. You know what I mean? You might be sending something to your boy, your man, but that. So I think I don't know if John Gruden got comfortable. That's what we gonna call it.
That's what he did. He got comfortable.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay, so he must have got comfortable, and the result of comfortable, because they went through emails. They went through like 6,000 emails.
Yeah.
So I don't know who was trying to get him.
Yeah, it was more than 6,000. But
oh, see, I don't know who was trying to come for him. But when you go through that many emails, you're trying to look for something.
Well, it probably was said before, and they was looking for the evidence. But first of all, you're writing it on a document. Like you said, general conversation is one thing. Like you can have a conversation amongst your brothers or whatever that doesn't need to be heard by everyone because it might be misconstrued. That's fine. But when you're sending emails, professional, we're supposed to be a professional setting, and you're a professional. That's entirely different board game. So that alone is what makes me like, damn, like really, like you sent that as an email. You know that ain't going nowhere, right? Like that's a.
But believe it or not, that's what I'm saying. Believe it or not, a lot of people they don't, you know what I mean? They not text. They might use an email. Kanye West used the email for years. You know what I'm saying? He didn't text on the phone.
Which is fine, but for profession, don't say nothing that can
cut the chaos.